Well, good afternoon. It's 22nd of December, and as you see, 11.5 degrees. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Great stuff. So anyway, this is last vlog of the year, I suppose. But I thought I'd just go through the bike, really. I've had it for a little over a year now. So my thoughts on this bike, well, first and foremost, what a fantastic bike. I never really did like the adventure looking bikes. I first got back onto the bike scene again after about God knows how many years away from it, and went for the sports tourer type. It was lovely. You may remember the VFR 1200. I did love that bike, but after nearly a year of it, I started to realise that I was going to enjoy this so much, and I wanted to do longer trips, that actually maybe this type of bike was going to be the better option. Short story is, I was looking for maybe something like the RT1200. Couldn't find one. No, thanks a lot. Cars are doing your windows. Couldn't find one with the spec or in the price range, because people seem to be keeping them. And all of a sudden this popped up on the search engine, and took a look and took a punt, and as you've seen, I've been riding it now for a year. Done quite a bit to it as well, in terms of updates or upgrades or adding bits and pieces to it. What I may do is stop and just do a little walk around, just to show you what I have done on it. Where have I been on it? Well, mostly sort of day trips out, the odd overnight and weekend stuff to the Norfolk area, around Norfolk and Suffolk I've done. Been down to Cheddar Gorge Way and all around there in a day trip. That was a good jaunt of about 400 miles. I did Norfolk back in a day, 460 odd miles. That was great fun. Black Forest, that was fantastic. Did over 4 days, 1600 miles with some friends. We shot down on one day, spent 2 days around the Black Forest, one day doing the north, the other day doing the south part of the forest, and then came back on the 4th day. That was absolutely brilliant. That was back in May, and that's rather whetted the appetite for further excitement for next year. Personally, I'm looking maybe to do something like down to Interlaken and go and do the 3 passes around there, and then jaunt about for a day or two and then come back again, just with the 3 friends. We're all lack of time with families and everything else as well, so trying to get something together and some days free, it's well, it's a task in itself. But anyway, that's the plan, hopefully, or at least for other bits. Weekend aways, wouldn't mind doing the North Coast 500, that's a bit of a must. A bit of Wales, Midlands, yeah, all around there. So we'll plenty of things to do for next year, time permitting. Yeah, so onto the bike. Well, it's a big bike, as you all know. I don't find it any problem at all to get around on, to ride. I stand 5'11", I can touch the ground quite happily. I don't find it a problem riding around through traffic or slow. Greasy roads. Ugh. I actually find it quite nimble personally. I don't have a problem with filtering on it. Obviously not as good as others, but you can't beat the tank range on one of these things. It's huge, isn't it? 30 something litres, which is pretty awesome. You get your, or me I suppose, I think about 380, depending on a ride it, 400 maybe at a push to the tank, which if you're going to do European stuff, well, it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. It really is. Comfort wise, I haven't done anything to it. It's a standard seat, standard suspension. It's good for me. One of the updates I have done is these, so little risers that go up and back. It just relaxes the arm a little bit better, a little bit softer in the shoulders as well. One of the things I'd recommend if you do like doing long rides is to do that. Not saying that the standard way the handlebars were bad, indeed not. But just for me, I just wanted that little bit extra to come back, just to that extra bit of relaxation in the shoulders and the arms and hands. Sorry. Yeah, so that's one of the updates. Obviously, phone bits and pieces, all wired in. So the plug obviously onto there, so that's continuous power, not a problem there. And linked into the nav, you can play music. I've got a F5MC, so I can talk to the obviously friends, but also hear the nav instructions, take phone calls if needed. Although to be honest, I don't really like doing that. Taking phone calls, that is. I'd rather just see it come through and then think, right, at the stop, I'll call them back. Yeah, so all the comforts that you need. I say comfort-wise, I haven't done anything like load pegs. I don't need to. As far as I'm concerned, it's really comfy. Actually, I hope you even know to put the feet out up in here if you really want to. It gets nice and warm too. As you can see in front, screen I changed. I found I was getting a bit of buffeting on top of the head with the OEM one. It wasn't bad, but I'd heard about this particular one, the screen, and just with the angle on the top there, it just takes it over the top. It's not as wide though, so you do feel it on the shoulders a bit, but not a bad thing in the summertime. Get some fresh air through, get some air onto the shoulders, open up vents in the jacket, all good. So we like that. Really, the other updates are all a little bit more electronic-y style. Givey extensions here on the handguards. They're brilliant, absolutely fantastic. They just take the wind off all the knuckles, fingers and everything. So cold weather, wet weather, everything stays nice and warm and dry, and obviously with the heated grips as well, you can't complain at that. But yeah, otherwise everything else has been on the electronic side. Obviously camera on the helmet here, but also got a couple of mounts now, or various type of mounts I could do if I need to, for the other two cameras. So I run a Drift HD, Ghost HD, Ghost S actually. I've just got to Ghost S, found one. I was given it as a bargain price, so I thought, well, why not? Happy Christmas to myself. And two Ghosts, one front and one rear that I can run if I want to. I've got them on at the moment. Again, with that, I can do continuous power supply. As you'll know, with the Ghost, the Stealth. I'm not talking about it's the Stealth. Two Stealths that I have. You can't have the back open with the power supply in for it to be protected from the elements. So a good friend of mine, who's very, very clever, he 3D designed and printed a new back that goes on there that has obviously an opening for your power cable to go in, USB cable to go in, and protection against the elements. I'm not going to say it's 100% waterproof. I wouldn't want to test it out obviously with the cable in, but there's no way I can see actually elements of rain or anything getting in there, that's for certain. But as a protection, of course, you can always just what I've done before is get a little balloon, snip the end off, put it over the top, and just put a little zip tie on it, and that would keep it a lot more waterproof. I'm going to say not 100% waterproof, because I don't want to say anything that I can't obviously guarantee. What I'll do is I'll actually put a picture up of it right now, and you can see what I mean by that new back there. He does actually make them, so if you want one, let me know. I'm sure we can sort something out, if he's still making them, of course. Luckily, yes, I got two of those. Gosh, what's going on here? I can run front and rear and give continuous power supply. So each camera I have has a 64 gig card. That roughly gives about 8 hours or so of recording. So with the two Stealths powered up, that's not going to be a problem. And with the one on the helmet, I've got multiple batteries I can keep changing over, and also a way to charge those batteries up whilst on the go. And again, when you stop, I'll show you what I mean by that. Yeah, so otherwise really everything else is electronic upgrades. I'll have to stop the light, get off and show you what I mean by that. So we'll just find a little place. In the meantime, we'll just have a little ride out here. I'm just going out to ditch the beacon, I think. can't complain with the weather. Seems it's dry. It's half bright and it's, what's it, 11 something degrees. Unbelievable this time of year. Consider what we have had, what was it, a week or two ago of 1s and 2s and minuses. When we were on the country course. Loving it. Who knows, come Boxing Day, I'll try and do my annual ride out to Lumie's Cafe that will be closed. Lumie's, why don't you open on Boxing Day? It'd be nice. But I did it last year. Tried doing it the year before, didn't get there. Unfortunately, the rain came in. But this year, if we can, then I'll have a scooch out. Kids will be busy doing their own stuff with Christmas bits and pieces, and probably online to friends. Wife will be happy just chilling out in the afternoon throughout the day. So, take the opportunity if I can. Zip past. Oh, gosh, I haven't been out on her for ages. So what else do I think about this bike? I've said about the comfort. Like I say, standard seat for me is fine. I know people like to buy the other seats on there. Great. I suppose one of the things, if I had to spare money, perhaps I may do it, but I don't feel the need to do it. Economy wise, you know, like I said, you can't be beaten. Pick up and go for me. Do you know what? It's all you need, really. I'm not the young guy that wants big sports bikes anymore or anything like that. I'm quite happy with the way this thing goes. Ride suspension, so I had a bit of a problem with the rear suspension and to get that replaced. Where your rear shock failed. I'm not quite sure of what's actually failed on it. But spoke to BMW about it and they did under warranty, which is good. So that's new. Yeah, it's alright, you know, I have no problems with this bike whatsoever. It's comfy for me, it's fast enough for me, it does everything I want. Obviously got all the panniers I can put on if I need to. It's just a great bike, absolutely great bike. Feel it. That low down torque is great. Oh, one of the other things I did a vlog a while ago in regards to the twin Fiam horns. I did a replacement rather than the OEM one. I had the Fiam, I think they call it the Master Blaster one. I'll put a picture up so you know what I mean. That I got, and I had bought the bracket for it at the time, just the wiring kit that you needed. And couldn't get it to fit where they were suggesting it should do. Well, people had done it in between the forks in here. I couldn't get it to fit there at all. The other place with one of the brackets that you could have got supplied would have been out at the front on the left hand side down here with the engine in front of there. I didn't like the look of that. It was horrible. I'm one of these people who likes things to be clean, neat and tidy, symmetrical, and that having stuck out there like a massive zit driven me nuts. So I didn't bother fitting it in the end. It was just stayed in the garage, ummed and ahed, thought I'd sell it, didn't sell it. Got the twin Fiam horns, the pictures, you know what I mean. Fitted those, one in between the forks, one in where the OEM one is, and you know, it was fine, it was great, good sound. And then I was watching a YouTube channel, I can't think of his name, an Australian bloke, has a lovely K1600 and a GSA as well, doing some bits and pieces, and he was doing something on it, and it meant he took off all the front end and the beak, and he had one fitted in the OEM space, which made me think, well, hold on a second, if it does fit there, sure I can get mine to fit. So I went out, got it out of the garage, took the beak off, had a look, placed it there and thought, okay, with a little bracket, that should fit. So I found an extra bracket, had to widen out the hole a little bit, got the bolts, put it in, wired it up, and blow me, it works. So it is sitting down in there. It's massively loud. So I'm not going to press it now because one, I'm in a lovely little quaint village, and secondly, obviously people around. Little old lady looking at me. Jump with the horn. Yeah, I'll give it a little blast in a second. Hopefully this will turn off. There's one turning off. Good. but it's 120 decibels. I mean, geez, people will certainly hear you coming. And with the lights and the extra bits of fun, obviously see me coming is the idea. So actually, let's just go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. So yeah, much better. Is that foghorn sound, isn't it? I like it anyway. So yes, fitted that. I know people say, oh, you know, you have to have an ezCAN, nice and loud, people can hear you coming. Well, for me, actually, I quite like the OEM ezCAN. Sounds okay for me. And people can see me coming with the lights, they can hear me with a big old horn. Then, this is then even better. So yeah, things that I've got on with regards to upgrades is earplugs. So myself and my friend went to Ultimate Hearing Protection and had a set of bespoke ones made, but they also have the internal speaker as well, so I can hear obviously things a lot better. Now the thing is, the friend I went with is a genius of an engineer, and he managed to tap into the F5, the Interphone F5 that we both have, and put a connector on there so that you can hear each other talk directly into the ears rather than through the speakers. So it bypasses the speakers, but also means that music playing or the nav information or whatever else is directly in the ears rather than through the speakers. Ultimate Hearing Protection people, good service while we were there. They're not cheap. I suppose they're probably about the same sort of price as everybody else that does the same sort of thing. Service though, yeah. Originally, you're spending quite a bit of money, so they're okay. They turned up. The finished product, great. Before time that they recommend, so it was even better. But customer service since then hasn't been too brilliant. So I ordered a bigger carry case that they've just brought out, and I went to the bike show again with the same friend. Actually, we saw them there, ordered a couple. He totally forgot about the order, hasn't even been put onto the system, had to chase them up twice. Apologies, the excuses coming along thick and fast. The upshot was, the last time I phoned, it still hadn't been on their system, so I was a little bit annoyed about that. Anyway, it will arrive, but it goes with it, which is what we want. So yeah, the hearing protection obviously is fundamental for me. Tinnitus can set in, obviously, I don't want to hear that, so I've been using various other sorts prior to then, all very good, but obviously these are much, much better. Yeah. Coming to Lindfield now, it's a beautiful little village. Lovely, typical English old village. Look at those houses, look at that. The old church, this one in front. It's a beautiful little place. Typical southern English old town. With a pub. A pub and a church, that's all you need. One needs to be visited after the other. So, right, let's find a little place to stop. I'll just do a walk round of the electronic bits and pieces. You probably know about them already because I've done a separate vlog on the Hex ezCAN, which to me has been the best upgrade purchase for this bike that I've done. I think it's great. The things you can do with it, once you've got it wired in, fantastic. So it gives you multiple options, which is what I like, multiple configurations, and a way to be able to power up extra bits and pieces. I was going to stop here, there's a car park, but about pre-Christmas walks. Let's just go down here. Quite sure what's down here. Give it a turn around. I need a quick stop somewhere. What's in there? It's a car park. Let's go in here. Perfect. This will do, won't it? Stick it on the side stand. That's all we'll need. 10 minutes pick up. School. Well. Right, neutral. Stand. So, the Hex ezCAN powers the front lights here. These ones, as you see, I actually put these on as well. I just put them on, stuck them in. They're cheap off Amazon. I think it just has a little bit more to it. And they all work off the ezCAN, as you know, so it has the warning lights. They will alternate the flashing, like so. Indicators. Again, they go off for the indicator, which is great. With the Wonder Wheel, yes, you can adjust the brightness or not, and then there's, of course, there's the flash to pass. So that is really handy for filtering on occasion. And with the horn, it does do that. But also to the back, I wired in some lights on the back. They are also wired into the ezCAN, so they will flash 3 times when I start to brake, and then continually stay a bit brighter. It's good. Now I also have, and here, as you can see, a junction going into the inside of the box, and from there I can power batteries and all sorts using the ezCAN extra link that's under the back seat here. If I don't want to do that, I can then run a lead from here, which will power the camera when it sits up on the back here directly. So I can do it that way, and that gives obviously the continuous power, as I said earlier on. On the front here, mounting for the camera to the front, I can use. Again, the power I'll put straight into the socket. That's that. I don't think there's much else really. Oh, I've got a little guard for the rear brake fluid on that one. But otherwise, everything else is standard. Gosh, it gets dirty really quickly. Look at that, it's disgusting. Yes, I haven't done anything else. No, everything is pretty standard. It's all good. Oh, sorry, front fender extender down there for the wheel. Stops a bit of crap going on the back, and also for the rear mud sling on the back. Under here, just see it. On the back there, here. That stops the mud getting to the rear shock so much. Gosh, can't believe how dirty it's got. I've only been out here for what, 25 minutes, something silly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've done. So here's the risers, as you can see, pretty well made actually. They're from China. I checked them over when I did get them to make sure that they were well made, and they are. You can't really complain at those. Cheap as chips compared to what you have to pay here in the UK. Screen. Yeah, so that's it. The lamp guard, £1,000 to replace this unit if it gets cracked. That was actually the first thing I did. Yeah, but otherwise, I think that's it. That's pretty much all I've done. Oh, tank guard. I love that tank guard. Everything else is standard OEM stuff. All the lights and everything else are bought from Amazon. All the electronic trickety apart from the ezCAN. Obviously that came from the US, and you can see I've done a earlier vlog on that. But everything else I tend to look on Amazon or eBay first, because do you know what, you can get stuff on there that's so cheap and they work really well. These lights I've had on, these auxiliary lights, that came from Amazon. I think they're like 15 quid, and they've been perfect. No problems with them whatsoever. Haven't stopped working, haven't busted, haven't cracked. Which is always one of the things you think about. Yeah, so that's it. I'm loving the bike. I've seen the 2018 model. It's a beauty, isn't it? That screen on it is very, very nice, but come on, BMW. You're buying a bike that's already, what, I don't know, 17,000 is it for the T version of this, which is what mine is, and then they ask another £600-700 for the TFT screen. Come on, really? Should be on there standard like KTM have, etc. Hey, nickel and diming, everybody's in it for the money. Yeah. Yes, the new one. Once the fork stanchion recall has been completed, you might see my vlog on that I did. I took out that K1600 and also the RT. So yeah, when I actually get the call to actually have it taken and done and completed, which I understand is some clips or clamps that go down the top here, on top of that fork stanchion, then I'll actually see if they've got a 2018 GSA in. I thought I'd take one out. Apparently the gear shift and everything else is supposed to be a lot smoother, and gear shift assist pro, and yeah, just have a look at that TFT screen and see what it's like. Not that pennies will allow me to buy one, unfortunately, not unless I win the lottery. Might as well go and get a ticket, I suppose, see what happens with the Christmas mass draw, isn't it? £100 million, how ridiculous. I wouldn't say no. So yeah, that's it really. What can I say? A year in, and I love the bike. Don't need to change it. I can see this being a keeper for a long time. In fact, only the point where I really had to struggle to get it on and off the stand, maybe, or in and out the garage. Will I then have to consider maybe changing it? But until then, she's definitely staying with me. Definitely staying. Love it. More rides for next year and onwards. That's what I want. So until then, guys, ride safe. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. See you all on the other side. And thank you for all the subscriptions that I have. I think it's 174 the last I looked. Which, you know, to be honest, is amazing. Really, I just did this for a bit of a laugh and a joke, and for my own looking back at videos that I do. But now it's yeah, well, you know, if you guys enjoy it and I can be of some help, and you like what you see, then great. Thank you very much for you subscribing to me. And yeah, good stuff. Ride safe. Speak soon. Cheers.
That's all, folks.